Hello, I'm Lineke Lijn, and in this video we are focusing on the mouth of the dragon. It's very tricky to do, and it's the mouth of the dragon that's opening wide and the teeth and all. So let's get started. What we need for this drawing is an eraser and a pencil. I also have graphite, it's pure graphite, and some really greasy white charcoal. What I'm using for this drawing is the end of my drawing book. And everybody knows artists don't have much money, so they will need everything they have, and this is the end of my sketchbook, and it's the carton, and I'm using this for the drawing to do of this dragon's mouth. I want the mouth to be open, and this is a study especially about the teeth and the tongue and how the jaws move apart from each other. Here I'm placing the lower jaw and also the teeth that go along with it. And you can see I'm trying to draw this dragon like I'm lower than this dragon, so it appears to be higher and bigger than me. In studying dragons, I also study a lot of pictures from crocodiles, because I like the way the scales are on the crocodile, and yeah, they're very helpful. Also looking at drawings by other artists, I looked them up, and it's because you cannot go to a zoo or something to study dragons, so we will need to learn from each other and by studying nature, like crocodiles and stuff, and other reptiles. Upper jaw, I want to be sturdy, and I always pay attention to the ear opening. It's just below the eye. What I like about an open mouth is the flaps that are between the jaws. You can see me here drawing the outer flap that is between the jaws, and in front you see the other flap. I put in extra dark, so it appears that you are looking a bit into the mouth. I carefully place shadows underneath the tongue and in the lower jaw. Also, in the upper jaw, I place in a little bit of shadow. And of course, in the inside of the nose. The eye is something different. I want to do a video on, especially on the eyes. I will not pay a lot of attention in it in this movie, but the eyes also are very difficult. My special attention in this movie is for the mouth and how the teeth are placed. The horns I always keep rather simple. My paper is not long enough, so I'm giving this horn a little bend. For the lower jaw, I always like to place some flaps going around. The flaps make the dragon look more dynamic and it looks like he's moving around. When you place little scales around the eyes, it makes it a little bit more soft. When you make the scales go broader, then they look more sturdy, more hard. You can see this here. By the upper jaw, I want some big scales that gives it a kind of firmness and protection for the dragon. So there I keep the scales much wider. From the top of the head, you can always put in horns. Just place them as you want them, and it's what makes the dragon look more dangerous. So in my dragons there are always some horns going around, coming out of the top of his head. I'm not very happy with the eye, so simply erase it out and then try it again. You can only erase so much because every time you erase a bit, the paper gets a little bit damaged, so be careful not to erase too much. Now and then just take some time and look at your drawing and then go over and over it again. The lines you are happy with, you can put in extra dark. So far so good. And now I've taken out my white pencil, and the nice thing about using the last carton of your sketchbook is that it's grayish, and then when you take out the white pencil you can put lights on those parts that pick up as much as light as there is. So by putting in extra white you can really lift the drawing off your paper. Simply place little bits of white between your lines, and it's also okay to go over your HB because it will easily blend together. I simply imagine that the sun is high up in the sky, so I'm taking this lights that are shining down on the dragon. For those parts which I want to be as white as possible, I press extra hard on my pencil. The harder you press, the whiter it will be. Also on the tongue, I want a little bit of light. I need this white for the tongue to stand out more. Now for some extra attention to the mouth. I simply place lines for the flaps between the jaws, and then I put in extra carefully the dark areas between the teeth. Also where the tongue is going into the mouth and beneath the tongue, underneath the tongue, I put in extra dark lines. For the tongue, I've chosen to give it a split end, like snakes would have. I'm going to experiment a little. I'm going to make the sky behind the dragon extra dark. And then I put a horizon that is going through the mouth opening. I'm hoping this way to get extra attention to the open mouth. You can see now that when you place a dark piece of dark behind your drawing, that it's kind of consuming your drawing. So when you do that, make sure to get your picture in front again by putting in extra dark lines. Otherwise, the dark background is eating up your drawing. You can also take a dirty cloth and then erase your background. By putting in some extra whites, you can get your dragon to pop up on front again. So far for this study. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you soon in the next video. Thank you for watching. Take care.